Hey YouTubers, Rick's RC and more here. As you can see in front of me, I've got my Gen 7. My last video, I did a 45-degree crawl with it, just to show you what they're capable of, with a few things here and there, and some suspension tweaking. There's lots of free mods out here with these guys, and I just kind of discovered one myself, and that would be not so much bringing your center of gravity down, but adding a little bit more weight to the front of the truck for steep inclines. So what I did was, as you can see, it's pretty empty in this area. Normally your electronics are up here. They're on this little brace here. Now this brace is just strictly for the electronics to sit on. It's a one solid piece of chassis. It doesn't really add any rigidity to it. You could make yourself a brace if you wanted to cover your motor and your transmission. But by moving this bracket to the front, you're adding a little bit more weight to the front of the truck for steep inclines. Now, with a little bit of additional hardware, this is actually very simple to do and very free. All you need to do this is basically take these 4 Allen heads out, and this whole bracket will pop right off, and then you can just bolt your links back in by putting those 4 Allen heads back in. And there's not even any drilling required in the frame. There's actually a hole here in the chassis, and you have another one up here. Try to get this in focus. That is one of the 2 Allen heads for each side to hold your bumper block. And the holes in this bracket will actually line right up with those 2 bolts. The only thing you have to do is, the chassis narrows at the front, so this plate has to be narrowed in. My front bumper's kind of in the way, but it has to be narrowed in. And it's a very easy to bend, this metal, so it doesn't take much to flex that in and put it in those existing bolts. Now, your front Allen head here is going to thread right back into this plastic block, but this one back here, you will need to put a nut on the other side. You can see that. There we go. Preferably a nylon nut, just to, so it doesn't, it's not going to come loose. So if you had that hardware kicking around, if you have an Allen head and a nylon nut that'll fit through that hole, then it's really not going to cost you anything. Now, the downfall to this would be you're going to have to bring your body posts up, or if you have your body sitting low, it's going to hit on the top of your ESC. My antenna, I've just flexed it over and then zip tied it down on this body post. But if you bring your body up enough, then you'll still have the clearance in there without anything touching. And it almost gives a little bit more of a scale look. It looks like there's something up there where a motor would be. This would also make it easier. You'd almost have something to attach to if you wanted to put some fenders or wheel wells in here. Now this area now looks kind of bare, but I mean, like I said, that bracing's just there to hold your electronics up above up above your transmission and your motor. You don't need to extend any wires. I just disconnected my motor, ran the wires right in here underneath the battery tray, and zip tied it. And you'll have to zip tie up your slack on your steering servo wires though, because the steering servo is right underneath. So if you're ever going to replace the steering servo, you definitely don't have to worry about if your wires are going to be long enough. That's for sure. If you don't really want to move your body up, that's the suspension fully compressed. So you probably got a little over 1 inch clearance there. So this here you could in fact bring down. You could cut it off. You could drill new holes and put different hardware in, or anything like that. I'm going to leave it this way for now, but down the road I might just bring this down a little lower, just to help clear my antenna and the ESC. But yeah, I haven't tried it out yet, but to get it in the trails and see if this helps steep inclines, having that extra weight up front. Anyway, just another little tip or trick there for anybody who has one of these and looking for different ways to mod it and see if you can improve it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good evening.